There is a lot of bad advice for the bassoon on the internet, and in this video I want to take another video that is really popular for the bassoon called How to Play the Bassoon, and pull it apart and show you all the parts of it that I feel are bad advice and what I would maybe do differently. And this video is titled How to Play Bassoon. It's by a company called Make Music, and formerly known as Smart Music. And I want to be clear that I'm not bashing this company or saying that everything that they're doing is bad or that everything about this particular video is bad. But I'm just using it as an example to show that for someone who's just trying to start out on bassoon or learn bassoon, that you can get misled pretty easily. And I just want to be able to point out that in this particular example. So I'm going to go through this video, and I'll probably skip ahead in the parts where I don't have much to say, but I want to point out some things that I have a real issue with. So here we go.
The bassoon comes in what looks like about 1 billion parts. So we're going to go ahead and cycle through each of those. But before we do that, dipping your reeds in water is much faster than having it in your mouth. So one of the things that I strongly recommend is that you thoroughly soak your reeds.
All right, we're already to our first point. So yes, I agree that you need to dip your reeds in water, but there's a couple things that aren't true in this video. You need to soak your entire reed in the water. Unlike clarinet or saxophone where you're just dipping the tip of the reed, bassoon you need the entire reed, thread, wire, everything in there. And he doesn't do that in this video. The other part that's a little strange, it's not necessarily bad advice, but the reeds that he's showing here just have wire on them and not thread or any sort of wrapping that you would put around the wire. It's not impossible to play bassoon with reeds like this, but it's just a little abnormal. And most people who are starting out on bassoon aren't going to have reeds that look like this. So it's just kind of an odd thing I thought I'd point out. So let's keep going.
So let's do one thing at a time. Let's go ahead and take out, this is called the boot joint, the bottom joint of the instrument. Let's go ahead and latch it on to the seat strap. Now, right now, while supporting the boot strap, what I want you to do is go ahead and take out what's known as the long joint. You can tell because it's the longest joint on the instrument. And I want you to insert it into the boot joint.
So here's the next point. That is a huge no-no for bassoon, and watching this part really makes me cringe. He is putting the bassoon together basically from the seat strap. Basically putting all the joints into the boot joint while it's attached to the seat strap. And there's so many reasons why you shouldn't do this. When you're putting a bassoon together, you want to put the boot on the floor or on a stable surface. You don't want to have it sort of suspended in midair in a seat strap. And he clearly puts the whole bassoon together while it's suspended in midair on the seat strap. So, and this is particularly problematic for probably many young students who are watching this video and are going to feel more clumsy about putting the bassoon together. And that's what I believe is the target audience of this video. So definitely don't do this. So let's keep going.
First of all, what we need to do is we need to talk a little bit about our embouchure when we play bassoon. Embouchure is a fancy foreign word meaning mouth muscles. So how to control our mouth muscles on the bassoon. Let's start off by taking just the reed alone. Now, what I think of when I think of the proper bassoon embouchure is think of an ooh syllable.
So another issue that I have with this is how he's describing embouchure. He's describing embouchure as doing an ooh sound, which I don't have a problem with that, and that's pretty accurate in a lot of ways and just one way to think about it. But he's also not describing where the pressure is on your reed, how far on the reed to place your embouchure, sort of the more nuanced details that you need to get started. And yes, it's hard to cover all of those details, but I think you could have gone into more detail about it, because it's so common. It's in fact, it's one of the most common bad habits that students develop from the beginning, to bite down and press, make pressure from top to bottom on your lips rather than side to side. So just addressing those things right from the beginning, I think, is helpful. So it's not my favorite description of embouchure, and I would hope that a new student would get other instruction on this.
Remember this key down here. Why don't you go ahead and put your thumb there, make that ooh embouchure, and blow the same way.
So even when we get to this point where he's actually showing the embouchure playing on the bassoon, you can see that there's more to it than just the ooh. He's doing the more of an overbite embouchure, which is something I think worth mentioning, because it doesn't come naturally to a lot of students. And also, he's pretty darn far up the reed. I think he's basically touching the wire, which, some people are that far up on the reed. But again, I would have hoped that he would have talked about placement for someone who's just starting out, because, could you be really off the reed, really far up on the reed? It really makes a difference in how much control you have over the instrument. So I also want to talk about what's missing from this video. He spent 19 minutes talking about, all these sort of basics and stuff, but the point of the video, the title of the video, was how to play bassoon, and he plays one note at the end, and it's the note with just the thumb, just the F, and he doesn't show you, what it looks like to play other basic notes that a beginner would want to know. He could have easily shown you E, D, C. So I just think there's a lot missing from this video, and I skipped through a lot of it. The things that he was saying about breathing and posture and stuff, I agree with all of that stuff. Like I said, there is a lot of good stuff in here, but some of the key points that you need as a beginning bassoonist just aren't there. And I think there's a lot more to it. And this is just one example. There's probably other videos and articles and things online that are misleading for beginning bassoonist, and I think people can do a better job of putting better information out there. So that's my take on one of the most popular videos on YouTube for bassoon playing.